are live. Hello,
Welcome,
Mr.
everybody, to the
Welcome,
Artist
everyone.
Coaching Podcast.
Exactly. What's up, everyone? Welcome at the Artist Poaching. Poaching. Wow.
Poaching, hey.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Artist Coaching Podcast. Hope you guys are
You know what
doing well.
poaching is, right?
Poaching. I heard of the word, but please remind me.
I'm not sure either, but poaching is like stropen, getting like a wild rhino from a reservate and shoot it illegally and then take its horns.
Oh.
Disclaimer, we do not poach artists. We don't like poaching, so it's not the artist poaching. It means like we're poaching artists from
Joey?
somewhere.
Yeah.
On YouTube, it switches the screen. It's really annoying. Maybe we can just put us all three up.
Yeah, I set that up because of Instagram, but it looks like Instagram is not working, the live stream. So let's just do YouTube for now. For those, last week, I've been trying to figure out how to multi-stream, and I've tried some platforms, but
I helped. I tried so hard and got
but
so
not
far.
Yeah,
But in the end,
it doesn't even matter. Exactly.
We're all wearing white, dudes. Yeah, we agreed.
Dress code.
We set this up. Oh,
Dress code.
I didn't get the memo, but
yeah, it's a different app group.
Oh, what are you wearing? Boys group.
Exactly. What's up, Fresh Coast? What's up, Bit3? What's up, McLaren? All guys in the live chat. Hope you are all doing well.
McLaren? Do we have a Formula 1 fan in the house?
I think so. I actually booked tickets today to watch the Formula 1 exposition in Amsterdam.
Oh, I thought you were going to one of the Grand Prix.
No, I've been there, but I didn't like that. I think, I did not like the experience.
No? Which one did you go to? Zandvoort?
No, Belgium, Spa.
Oh, when it was raining.
No, it was a good thing, but I really thought it was lacking experience, as in the tickets are really expensive, so you expect something. But to be honest, I'd rather watch it from home because it's a better experience.
I've been at the Winter Olympics and watching the ice skating. And when you watch it on TV, it's actually quite intense.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I didn't even know who was on the ice. I just didn't know. I just saw two dudes ice skating. I think at Formula 1, when it used to be like really loud, it would make more sense to be there in real life. And now it's a bit like, if you're on a cool spot, Belgium is difficult for that. But if you're in a cool spot, it can be interesting. But otherwise, like you said, I think it's really hard to follow what is happening in the race.
Yeah, I was in this corner, like this famous corner in the Spa circuit, and Max Verstappen was supposed to drive, and we were in a Max Verstappen tribune. How is it called? Like a seating area.
Box.
Yeah. And the guy crashed in the first fucking thing, so he didn't even made it there. So yeah, it's I don't know. It didn't live up to the expectations. So yeah, but my dad's a big Formula 1 fan, so I bought him tickets so we go and watch the exposition there. It's nice. It's with like Ralph said, with ice skating. I can imagine as well. You see them go around, but to really get a good sense of who's skating and what the speed is, you really need
to be honest. Even when I go to a football match, I miss all the goals. I'm just there, and then everybody's screaming. Oh!
With a football match, I think it's different because you kind of get the energy.
Though. Yeah. The thing is, I like to talk, and I usually just sit there talking. I have a beer. It's I like the atmosphere,
and everybody's like, "Dude, shut up! I want to watch the game."
No, there's also persons like me who like to talk. Yeah,
you like to talk.
It's a fun get together. I once I bring our own food. I've been to some football matches and it's fun. But I once went to a Champions League football match of Ajax, and the energy level there, and it was also like a match with a lot of goals. That was really, really special. But it's a big difference from a normal. Have you ever been to the Mandemaker Stadium in Waalwijk?
Yes. Yeah, I've been there at like a famous studio that was built inside there. Like,
oh, true story. Yeah, it's insane. The experience. I mean, Does Ajax have a DJ duo in the house?
It's
No.
amazing when the
A
stadium is.
world-known DJ duo.
It's so special that the stadium is so low that sometimes the ball actually flies out the stadium. It's like.
But that's what you want. You want to be
Exactly.
outside of the stadium as a little kid and make sure you can get the official Eredivisie ball.
It's
Yeah,
immersive
that's
for
true.
everybody in and around the stadium.
it's very dangerous.
Yeah, that's true.
You can get a ball on your head. Especially the way RKC footballs.
There's another sport which is fun to watch in real life, but way easier to follow at home. So you can guess.
Golf.
Hey,
you had your moment,
Joey.
You had your moment.
Now.
you had your moment last week, right? Because this guy won like a sick trophy or something.
Yeah, the Masters. Yeah, Rory McIlroy. This was one of the.
I think the new real sport that a lot of people watch also on all the socials is padel. Let's be honest.
No.
I haven't seen a single clip.
That will never be as big.
Dude, it's all over the place. And all the old football players, all the old tennis, everybody plays padel.
I think
the whole
Sunday
world gone mad about padel.
Past
and
Sunday was one of the.
Yeah, pickleball is a good second.
Past Sunday was one of the big sporting moments of the world with Rory McIlroy winning the Masters. It's something that hasn't been achieved by many. Only 5 before him completed the golf Grand Slam, which is
that's
very.
That's why I probably know it, because I'm not in a golf
loop.
Yeah, content loop any kind of way, but somehow all those clips ended up in my timeline, so that's why I know.
It's a sport. Maybe it's not really a sport. It's more of a game, but it's really hard to understand what's fun about it if you don't play it. It's so I see why it's not. I
think the thing about golf that I don't like is that it's usually all dudes walking around with sticks hitting a ball. Man, there's no appeal to me at all. It just no.
DJing is just pressing buttons. It's just some guys pressing buttons and jumping.
Yeah, maybe it's just the old dudes in the equation that doesn't have an appeal.
What if it were young chicks? Would that change things if it were young?
Golf.
Hey,
there are a lot of women playing golf.
Yes, I'm guilty. There's actually there has been this chick coming into my timeline at some point. She looked nice, I gotta say, and I watched. And I think she hit the ball, but I missed that part.
There's a lot of women actually playing golf. It's more than you think. Yeah. So
true. Yeah, probably, but I think the overall balance is 80% dudes.
Maybe, yeah. It's changing. It's getting.
That's what I also don't like about soccer matches or football matches, how you want to call it, or maybe almost all sports events. There's so many dudes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I think in the DJ landscape, it's now getting more women in there, which is very fun, because I think in general more styles is fun, more genders is fun. It's just so diverse. I think it's getting more fun.
I'm actually noticing that in clients as well, as in it used to be 100% male. And now more and more women are applying as well. So it's
nice.
It's nice to see. Yeah, exactly.
It is guys, nice to see.
I have an update on the book, as I promised to do that weekly.
Oh, please tell.
You can mute whatever you want. But
how long is this going to take? Because
just a minute. For those who didn't know, a couple of weeks, I promised to start writing the new book and keep you guys up to date in the Discord as well. I wanted to upload a new chapter every week, and I actually finished a new chapter, almost 2 new chapters today. So I will update that later on in the Discord. So I just almost finished chapter 3 now.
Okay, I'm curious. What's it? What are the chapter titles?
Let me take the file. Chapter 3 is called The Crash. Chapter 2 is called Living Loud, Feeling Empty. Chapter 1 is called The Dream That Became a Trap.
Fun.
No, the first part is like working towards the problem, as in what the problem
crash.
was,
The
and now
title of the book is Pessimism and
how to get
how to
depressed.
live with it.
Yeah, exactly. Now from chapter 4, things will start to go upwards, as in now I've reached rock bottom,
But
and now
is
we're
it maybe,
starting.
in your opinion, is it also something? Do you have like people who are like optimistic, negative, realistic, all that kind? Is that a characteristic of somebody you're born with, or is it nurture?
I think optimism and stuff is something which is nurtured, as in, or at least, sorry, I mean you're born with it,
Okay.
and maybe even nurtured as well, as in if your parents. Wait, let me think about this. I think that, at least I believe, every person that got born is like completely neutral, and everything you kind of do in life comes from like education and your upgrowing and those kind of things. But I do know that there's a small percentages of stuff which is baked into the DNA.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah,
must be, or else you wouldn't
Yeah,
have serial killers, right?
yeah, I'm just not sure which part that
I
is,
think
as in if it's optimism or yeah.
I think like being happy and stuff or feeling happy, it's all like a bunch of chemicals mixed in your body. And
Hmm.
I think you're born with a certain mix. And I think, of course, it can change, but I think there's a certain like set line for everybody. Some people are just more happy. I think that's kind of lucky. And then I think dealing with that is very much nurtured. So how do you
Well, I
deal
think
with?
more happy is not the way to say it, but I think some people are way more resilient than others. Yeah, true.
True.
Yeah, but I
True.
think you have a certain amount of like dopamine, let's say. Some maybe have more than others. I think that's not really something that's taught. But what I was going to say is like dealing with it. So how to deal with that? That's very much nurtured, I think. So
Yeah.
dealing with setbacks, dealing with
It's like the dad
emotions
of
in
Batman
general.
said, "Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up."
Exactly.
No, because we climbed on the well and it broke. Eh? That's why you fell. Eh?
To the
Yeah.
executioner in the chat, we are talking about my new book, as in I'm writing a new follow-up book right now, and we're talking about the chapters that have been written already. If you want to read the chapters, you can find them in the Discord, and the
Hey,
Discord is in the description.
yeah. Hey, but also, I I'm a big fan of your first book, although I didn't read it. But isn't your first book about the same?
Yeah, the first chapters are kind of like an addition to that, as in like telling how things went wrong and how I've experienced those things. And the book is about how I rebuilt my life after that. So the first part
Okay.
is like a short recap, and now things are
Ah,
turning towards
so
the.
your first book is just all like drama.
No. The first
Oh,
book is about from the moment I started. So from the moment on when I like
okay.
played.
You first had then the peak and then the
Yeah,
crash. Does it end with the
exactly.
crash?
Yeah. Well, no, it ends with the crash, but it ends like at the point where I decided to quit my career and decided to change my life. But from there, it stopped.
Okay, this
And
is Joey part two. So many years later, and
Joey,
how
10
has he
years later.
evolved? Still the
Exactly.
same bad haircut, but for the rest,
Exactly.
he's doing really well.
Exactly. Yeah. 2 kids later, like living the boring life.
Yeah,
That's me right now. Yeah.
no, that's actually cool. Hey, you got me. I'm swayed. I'm here for it.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
you know what's fun?
I
Like,
love it. I still won't
yeah.
read your book, but
you know what's fun? Now, like, it has been quite a while since I've done create like something creatively, as in something like a project, like a song or something, or my last book, for example. And what's fun is that now you experience the same exact thing, as in the resistance to create this thing is so big, as in the sitting down part and just doing the work, and you can just feel the resistance, even though I want to write the book and I know what to do. The resistance of sitting down every week and actually writing for a couple of hours straight, it's just that whole process. I'm not sure if you guys, well, I'm almost sure that you know, but I think every creative person recognizes that emotion, like
Yeah, I have
the
it with some tracks when I have to revisit them for the 72nd time,
exactly.
and
when you just are tired and feel like I don't want to do this, but you do want to finish the whole product, so you know what to do, but it's your own brain kind of destructing you there.
Yeah, your own brain comes up with excuses, and sometimes even like that you tell yourself you don't want to. You have like a project and it sounds so good, you don't want to ruin it by adding or changing stuff, and you tell yourself like, no, but you don't literally tell yourself it, but you kind of feel that like, no, but I'll ruin it if I add a build up or I change the sound, or and you just have to keep going without any fear, I guess. But that's it's definitely
Last
resistance.
week I had
there was this clip about that kind of thing, right? Where James Hype said something.
Could be the one
finishing
that you
a track.
Yeah, the one that you
I thought it was a good tip.
That was a very good tip.
And
I can check it later on and show it.
Yeah.
Laidback Luke
we'll
has been
discuss
saying
later.
that. Okay, yeah. Laidback Luke has been saying the same thing for years. Like, everybody can make loops, but you need to finish those loops into tracks.
And he copied
even if
me
they're not
because
that
I've
good.
been saying that for decades already.
Yeah.
No, but it's so true. Making a good loop, making like 45 minutes of really cool music isn't that hard. What's hard is making it last and be fun for 3 minutes. Only 3 mere minutes, you know. That's the hard part. But also music, everything is so relative. The first 15 seconds define how the second 15 seconds will be perceived, you know. And if you just only focus on the second 15 seconds and you think this is really cool, hey, you do have to, you need that intro, and that intro will define if it will be cool or not.
Let me share now that we're talking about it, let me share the clip.
Tips on how to improve your production as a producer. Yeah, I think you want to work on finishing a lot of stuff. So a lot of producers that I know, they'll start an idea and then they'll think it's the best thing ever, and then they'll just listen to it on repeat for like weeks and then never make any progress with it because they're almost like scared to ruin it. And I know I've done that in the past, but what I found super useful, I used to bootleg remix every single week and put it on SoundCloud, and some of them were but some of them were all right. And just through the process of finishing the tunes, I got good at finishing tunes. And that way, when you do make something that is actually good, you'll have better odds of finishing it.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's definitely true. It's spot on. What I also think is a good one is to remake tracks you like, but it's also to get in order to learn about how sound works and also arrangement. But I think making bootlegs is plus a bootleg when it's like mediocre but fun. It can still be picked up by a lot of DJs and give you some clout. But also it helps you in finishing a track. It's a very good tip, and you'll learn a lot.
True.
And what he says about that clip and listen to it for weeks, yeah, we've all been there. Definitely. And that's the first, the basics you'll have to learn is finish that shit just right away.
This is another tip that James from Tom and James once gave me, and it's a really good one. What I used to do was like make stuff during the day and bounce it into an MP3 or a WAV file, and then I would listen to it in the car and at home and everywhere. What happened was I ended up with some projects listening to it a lot. Also, I wouldn't open the project anymore. Whereas now I have a new tactic. I make a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to bounce everything so that I have to open the project to listen to it again. So you get excited about a project. You have to open it again. So you have to be in the studio. You have to be like opening the project. And then when you open the project, you're way more likely to work on it instead than working it, like listening to it in your car over and over and over
again. I bounce everything I do a day, and I listen to it in the car, and I hear so much more there because I'm then driving my car and not like listening to it with my full concentration. It has its ups and downs, and
yeah, but I think I will do it if the project it has like the first arrangement, then I will bounce it.
But to be honest,
if I don't only have a loop, if I only have a loop or a 30-second song, it's better for me to not bounce it, because then you listen to that loop and you forget kind of like, hey, it still needs to build up and still needs to have a whole arrangement.
But to be honest, I think I finish around 75% of what I start. I don't have a lot lying around that doesn't get finished.
Yeah.
So maybe
what is your criteria?
Suits.
If you don't finish anything, like why is that? Because it's just
I know pretty early on that oh man, this is not going to be it. And then okay, I learned something, and sometimes I revisit because I'm working on something. I think, hey, didn't I do that there and this? But then if it doesn't go easy enough, then it's just schloes and be on with it. I'll make something cool down the road.
I think it's also about like hacking yourself, as in you have a lot of different ways into making sure you finish songs, or like the tricks that Jay just mentioned. Like it's about like figuring out what works for you. Like some people bounce their tracks into MP3s and listen to them a lot to learn from that. Some people do tricks like Jay, as in that kind of bring you to the studio so you're already there. And it's about figuring out where you get stuck in the process and what you need in order to make sure to finish those tracks.
Yeah, but I'm always a big advocate, and also early on, to use a lot of references. Man, that's
true.
So helpful. And if it were up to me, I would advise always to just listen to it everywhere you can.
Talking about references, did you guys see that new Waves AQ? Are you familiar with that?
I think I saw an ad for it at some point.
Yeah, that video. I saw that too.
Seen it.
It's I'm not sure if it's that new though, but Waves,
like a Match EQ.
It's like AI, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Match EQ, but they've released a new thing called the AQ, and that video is where they visit a lot of big producers in LA and show them what they've built, and it's
A
AI.
as in the letter A.
AQ is
okay.
Yeah, AQ.
Artificial. Is that what it?
Artificializer.
Yeah.
Artificializer. Yeah, that's it. But it seemed to work pretty great, so I'm not sure if you haven't seen it yet, but it looks like it's something you want to use.
Are you going to show it? Oh.
Yeah, I can show, but the video is really long, so I would recommend you to go over to the Waves website or something.
Yeah. I love some of the Waves plugins. What I don't love is their update policy and like them ruining my projects for me not being able to open them again once I did update and pay for the update. So I'm a fan of your plugins, Waves, but please just don't ruin my project.
Please don't ruin my projects. Yeah. By the way, we have someone checking in from Japan right now. What's up, HT? What's up,
Konnichiwa.
24 Carat? Good to see you back. Oh, Bit3 also says it in the live chat. Reference tracks for everything, arrangement, mix, and mastering are insane. Yeah, that's what you hear with many producers, that reference songs are a great way to work. Something else I wanted to mention as well in regards to this topic, as in finishing music and the struggle to sit down every day. I am working right now on a challenge for the artist coaching community. So that from the 1st of May, so that's 2 weeks from now, a 30-day challenge will start, a 30-day music grind, to be perfectly clear. And the idea is to make music for 30 minutes a day, 30 days straight, and see what we can come up with, and if you are able to stick with it and to be able to sit down every day and actually do the work, because training your consistency muscle is important, I would say. What do you guys think?
I'm sending someone something. My consistency muscle.
Well, you're pretty consistent. Yeah, I call it a muscle, but it's more like something you have to train to get more consistent.
It's like I think it feels a bit like I think it's a good idea. I think it's a bit like dieting, like you can do a diet really well for a week and maybe 2 weeks, and then there's a birthday and there's a lot of cake. Well, there you go. I'll have some cake, and it starts like that, and then you're like, but you get knocked off course the whole time. And I think this kind of things, like that kind of initiative, can help you stay on course. But
build routine eventually.
Routine. And I think the Masters winner Rory McIlroy of the golf, he actually said like, you can have these huge goals, but your system, so your routines need to be correct. So you can have like the big goal of winning the Masters one day, but what is your daily/weekly routine gonna look like in order to achieve that? And then you can always revert back to that instead of like just this far away goal and not having any daily reminder of what you have to do. And I think those kind of things, you need.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to work on in that challenge, as in we're going to build a routine for yourself so that it will become easier for you to sit down in the studio every day, or at least as many times as possible, to eventually work on your music. So keep an eye on the Discord and on all the other channels, because it will happen eventually in the Discord. But you will see some content coming around it very soon. I see a question coming in from the executioner. Does the choice of genre... No. This is not a community question. That comes after this. This is a live stream question.
Live stream question.
Does the choice of genre matter when it comes to attracting the attention of diverse audiences to your tracks in today's era of music production? Does the choice of genre matter? Well, the genre that you're going to create decides on which type of people you're going to attract, because they either like your music or they don't. But I think what you mean with your question is if you should be consistent with that. Does the choice of genre matter when it comes to attracting the attention of diverse audiences?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't understand the question.
Yeah,
no, same,
me neither.
Same.
Me neither. Executioner, if you want to elaborate, please do, so we can properly answer it.
Yeah. But of
are you
course,
ready?
the choice, it always matters. Yeah.
It always matters. Are you guys ready?
I'm never ready for that tune, man.
For
community questions.
As always, we take on community questions every single week. Questions that people can send in our Discord. And we just take a few of those questions, sometimes all of them, and we answer those. So if you have a question for us, make sure to join the Discord and leave your question there. First question is from Jago. Hey guys.
Jago.
As I've started to take music production more seriously at the age of 27, are there any disadvantages of that, as in would like clubs, events, or other DJ producers take me less seriously? Basically, does age matter?
No, not so much. No. I think 27 is a perfectly fine age. If you look at...
How old are you, Ralph?
That doesn't matter, man. I mean, it's a weird question and totally irrelevant.
He feels younger than 27.
But let's see.
He feels 27.
Name some DJs that have just come up onto the market who are fresh and killing it, and most of them are past 30s already.
How old is James Clear? Oh, James Clear. Sorry, James
Clear.
James Hype.
I don't know.
James Hype.
In his 30s.
He's 35.
He looks 35.
Old. I also don't think age matters. I do think, people will try to make you think that sometimes. Especially people who are that are maybe your friends or family, and they think, oh, you're too old for all that music nonsense. But please don't let anyone tell you that. I think
but there was this time
you can break through at any age, I think.
Yeah, but there was this time when there was around Martin Garrix, Julian Jordan, and we had then Eric R. Boris, and back then also Kirby was one of them.
Very
there
young,
was this big hype about around really young DJs who were making good music, and but I think as of now, no, doesn't matter at all.
To be honest, I think 27 or 30 could be even an advantage, as in you're a lot older, you're a lot wiser, you know yourself a bit better, you're more experienced. I think from a healthy kind of view, I think 27 or 30 might be even a better place to enter the
What
industry.
is important more than ever nowadays is your aura, the energy you bring, because the world is really
Always has been, I think.
yeah, but it's more than ever because back in the days you would have like these techno DJs who were just like being all up in their decks, just not giving attention to the. It was less flashy, and the world's now so visually oriented that it's more important than ever. I don't say it's everything, but it's more important than ever.
It is that's also a thing that's difficult. It's not something you can fully control. I think some people are just also born with a natural swag, and you need to figure out what works for you. What is your asset that works? Like if you're a very happy guy, make sure to how do you say that? Overdrive that.
Emphasize it.
Make that pop out on stage. And
You should
that's
be well aware of
be
your
aware of.
strengths and weaknesses. That's
Yeah,
basically it.
for
But
sure.
it's for everybody in what profession there is. But and then work on those weaknesses and also protect those strengths.
True.
You got to work for it. Keep pushing.
Okay. The executioner says, I meant in general. Yeah, can you still elaborate on it? Because I'm not sure if we get the question right. Please do so. Next question is from Die Geile out Hamburg. Oh, she added the name, Jenny. She's called Jenny. To Ralph, how do you export your stems for a collaboration? Do you keep the FX automations and render it without the limiters and compressors, or do you disable every automation and effect on the master?
Oh no, the master is all turned off. Yeah, and I sent in the master as a reference. But to be honest, let's see which. Usually, I'm the one who does the master, but I'm thinking of because I also worked with Oliver Heldens, and I was quite impressed on what he heard and what he could improve. But eventually, I mastered. But I was really impressed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You turn off the master, then make stems, and you pass those around. Then you get stems back, or the other one masters. Doesn't matter, but you turn off all the automations. And the only automation I have on the master is actually that I sometimes use the endless smile on it when I make build-ups. But yeah, that's also not all the projects. There's actually, safe to say, on 90% of all my projects, there's no automation on the master. So
Okay.
it's just plugins. And yeah, you have to just make sure to bounce. Everybody says minus 6 dB. That's a good tip. It's always better to start low, no peaks on the master, and then on the master build up your volume levels.
Yeah, so you have room to work with.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important. Also, some labels ask for a little bit of headroom. I just got asked to turn in a master wave with minus 0.33 dBs. I asked what's for. I didn't get a clear answer yet, but I can imagine that somebody might want to do something with it. It doesn't give you too much room, but there's a little bit of room.
Okay. Next question is from Future. I read that Spinnin says that they want to see some kind of hype or DJ support before signing a track from a smaller artist. Do you think this means they want live DJ support from big DJs at festivals, or could it also be on smaller radio shows too?
Everything helps. And of course, the more cloud it gets, the nicer it would be for them to sign. I mean, the work has been done already. If there's some hype around the track and everybody wants, a few DJs want to play it. But also small radio DJs count, but then depends on what's a small radio DJ. Yeah, I mean, we can all make the equation. If you get some attention on your track, the more, the better. Yeah.
Everything helps, and I think I do think live support is the support you want in dance music. because if it makes a track, if it makes people dance live, it's gonna do. Maybe it depends on the genre, but it tends to do well on, for example, radio as well. There's more of a chance on that. So I guess that weighs a bit more. But and like Ralph said, any support is good.
Yeah, true. Next question is from EMK. Since I'll be playing opening for Afrojack live in Kuala Lumpur, it's my first time playing at a festival, so how do you find the balance between crowd pleasing and expressing your own musical identity? That's a good question, because I can see that you want to give it your all because now you finally got the stage, but you also want to please the crowd and don't blow away everything before Afrojack. So yeah, how would you guys approach that?
Finding the balance is really hard. You don't want to kill the night by going all aboard and mowing away the lawn for Afrojack. I mean, he's the star of the night. It's something you gotta take into account. You also want to please the promoter who gives you the chance to play, and he also doesn't want you to kill the crowd before the star gets on. So you have to find a balance, and I think also note that your Afrojack will probably be the star of the night because usually the production and the sound is turned on a little bit higher. The production gets a lot bigger, so rest assured he will be the star of the night. And I think it's important to know who you want to please. And I think it's safe to say you want to please the promoter rather than the public, because
Wow, big
yeah,
statement there. Okay.
yeah, it's quite a
I'm
statement.
very very
No, but you can do your
No, no, no.
you can do your own thing in there. But let's say it depends also on what you play. If you're a techno DJ, yeah, you have no place before Afrojack, so then the promoter has made a mistake to put you there. So comes with some context, but I wouldn't. I mean, Afrojack plays from 130 to 140 BPM. He doesn't play too fast. Yeah, it makes no sense to play 150 BPM if that's your sound.
Yeah, then you're just booked in the wrong place.
So,
But then you're booked in the wrong place. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think there's some room in there to please the promoter and make sure that when it's your time that you then can take the stage on your own terms and wait for your moment and don't be too greedy to take the shine right away. It's a long plan, you know. You're a marathon man and not a sprinter.
yeah, I think balance is the key word. I wouldn't put the promoter's interest above the crowd, but the balance must be there.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I
think-
said, huh? But if you have to choose, Jopke, you'll have to choose.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
don't have
I
to
won't
choose,
have to
right?
choose because
Yeah.
that's like a
No, okay, no, you have to
Not
choose
really-
one, or you have to choose. It cannot be you're bound to please the one more than the other. That's how life works. Because
I'll
this
please the
is
crowd.
like basically
That's
saying
my,
nothing.
then I'll choose my integrity over that promoter, and I think it will. It's like a hypothetical question, so I don't think that situation will ever occur. But it's like I wouldn't. You can interpret that as like, oh, I would do everything to please the crowd. No, I would do everything to be in the right vibe for my set time. So if I was opening for Afrojack, like you said, I would please the crowd, but not play all the hits or like already go full out. So
Look,
there's
what I'm saying is you work for the night, you know? You know that there's a headliner, you know where your place is, so you work for the night. And that's also in the best interest of the promoter.
Yeah, I
But
think
not maybe what the crowd wants to hear. Maybe they want to hear the biggest hit of J-Lo in a 150 BPM. I don't know. But that's not what I would be. I would work for the night and make
it's
the
like
night
not
as
what
good
the
as
crowd.
possible.
It's one of those things where it's not what the crowd wants to hear, but kind of what they need to hear at that moment.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
you
also
work
just
for-
such a
for.
one-liner, some tile wisdom, but not saying something real where somebody can work
That
with.
makes okay.
you know what I
well,
mean.
that's
For me
your,
personally, what
opinion.
I would do is I would try to play I would try to think of the bigger picture, as in what would help the bigger picture, because eventually what would help the bigger picture would also help the promoter and also the audience. And when I say the bigger picture, I mean you don't want to go all in as an artist, because it's not your time, it's not your spot, as you said. So you want to play for the promoter, as in, and for the audience, like slowly build them up, like slowly be the warming up DJ, but also kind of tease them every now and then with a little bit of energy so that they can get ready for the big thing. But you need to understand that your place on the lineup, if you're a warm-up DJ.
So basically, you agree with me. That's exactly
like,
what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want to do both, but you need to think of the bigger picture, because you're not at the place yet where you can fully think of yourself.
No, but I understand it's about balance, but we don't help anybody by saying it's about balance and you have to. I mean, if anything, if you have to choose and give a beacon, I would say, please the promoter. Let's go to an extreme to make a
use like that. If you're playing a festival where Afrojack plays, I'm sure it's a pretty professional festival. You don't have to choose between that. Like
I think it's a
Joey
club,
said,
to be honest.
It's like it is about that balance, finding that balance.
And knowing your place. Just know that you are not the star of the night, and that's okay. But don't act like it, as in don't.
Yeah, and
don't...
what I mean by my my one-liner that doesn't mean anything, in Ralph's opinion, it's playing what the crowd needs to hear. Is like, yes, you can play all of the hits where you know they will sing along. You just can't give all those hits if if you're not the headliner.
You can play like warm-up songs with a famous vocal on top of it. You know, like you can tease them.
Some vocals you wanna avoid.
Yeah,
where
sure.
You know, maybe also check out a lot of Afrojack sets.
Titanium,
the
maybe.
Last, but of the last month, you can go to Afrojack sets and see like, hey, he plays that vocal, he plays that mashup, and just avoid those. That would be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Probably Afrojack won't even hear him play, or her. I don't know.
Yeah, probably he'll just
Let's
show up right.
So that's why I'm just
set.
saying, and I'm still gonna. I mean, I got attacked for saying it, but if anything, if you have to choose, please the promoter, because he or she will give you another chance to play. Cool. And if you don't please them, if you choose it's quite an extreme to say, but you want to get your chance, and that's the best way to get your chance. But still, hey, it's all for other people can also choose differently. Yeah? It's one of the strategies. There's no right or wrong here.
I think the whole thing with DJing is you're in the service of the crowd and not of the promoter. So I think, that's what it comes down to for me.
Yeah, but that's okay. You know, that's this
it can be. But this discussion we also had, if you're a top 40 DJ, we call it the resident DJ. That's more in the service of the crowd. But if you bring your own sound. If you're booked and somebody knows, they know what they book you for. You're not in the service for the crowd. You do your thing.
The question
if the crowd's not right, then you're booked wrong. Yeah.
The question is: are you booked for who you are, for your sound, or are you booked just as
a warm-up DJ? Probably somebody likes you for something. Or I don't know how we did get the gig, or she. I don't know.
Depends.
That depends, you know. That's why we don't get all the context.
Yeah.
But still, I would also, if you want to build a career, but also, we've discussed it also, if it's just a hobby and you're going one time on stage, then fuck it. Whose opinion is yours?
Is like this, it's not that black and white, Ralph. It's not like, if you don't please the promoter, you will never build a career. It's just...
No, it's never black and white.
It's never, no. It's about chances and enlarging your chances. Like you want to have coincidence and you want to increase the chance of coincidence. And that's one of the strategies that can do it for you. That's all I'm saying.
Let's continue.
Everybody
because
knows
we're circling.
It's about
the other one is putting the crowd first. That can also increase your chances of getting booked back or getting talked about on TikTok.
It's just slim because it's in Kuala Lumpur. You have a club there.
He lives there, by the way.
Afrojack.
He lives there.
Yeah, and it's a festival or a club? I think a club.
Festival. First time playing a festival.
A festival.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the people at the stage then, if it's opening up, so right before Afrojack or a few things before, I don't know. but you can only sway the people over there. But the more chances you get, then you can sway more and more people. That's why it's a longevity plan.
I
You
think
yeah.
the extreme of if you had to choose makes no real sense to me. I think in the end, you want what's best for the night, and that is also usually you have the same interest as the promoter, the
Hmm.
same
So
interest
you do
as
both, right?
Afrojack. So yeah,
Yeah. So
No, but
we all agree.
yeah, no. But
Next,
I mean, it's so easy to say it's about balance because we
I
all
get it.
know it.
I
But
get
you
it,
have to.
and I think we've been clear, so we're continuing because
Uh,
we're circling back to last week's discussion of 30 minutes. So next
it's
week,
still a good discussion.
it's a
Yeah.
good discussion, but I think we've reached. We're circling. We're saying the same things in different sentences right now.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, it's just man. Yeah, I forget it.
next question is from Mikey Foden. So many self-releases by you guys. I'd love to know a little bit about how you've gone about it. Have you created your own label to do it on, or using a certain platform? Maybe a chance to share a referral link. I don't have a referral link of those platforms.
I don't have
But
a referral link, but
Oh,
I use AWOL for my distribution.
yeah, that's from Sony, or what
I
is it?
think Sony owns it, so it's like all the big distributors or like indie distributors are now being bought by the majors. So are you still in an independent release? Is the main question. But AWOL is one of them. You can use DistroKit. I used that before.
TuneCore.
Works pretty well. AWOL. What I didn't like about DistroKit is that you on Beatport it wouldn't let you create your own label, so the label name would say DistroKit. That just didn't sit right with me. AWOL, you have to sign up, and not everybody gets like you can't just create an account and upload. You have to be approved. So I don't
And
know
who
if
approves?
AWOL.
So there's still like a gatekeeper there.
Yes, but I'm not sure exactly what the they don't talk really about what the things are that let you in. So like the
But are there also
um,
smaller artists on through AWOL, or
well, I think you am I yeah. I mean, I'm a big artist, but I'm
you're?
also a small artist
Yeah, but
for
you're not a
compared
smaller
to.
artist. Like I mean, a starting artist without an
I
audience.
don't know. I don't know. I don't
Hmm,
know.
okay.
That's like I don't know the things that let you in. How do you say that? The
Entry.
yeah. My English is not with me today.
Spanglish, or is it Denglish?
Yeah.
Dunglish.
Ralph, your first self-release is coming soon, right?
Yeah, so I don't have any knowledge about it.
Okay. We'll get to that later. Don't have referral links, by the way.
But you
So
have a platform where you guys release on, or
No, I actually just got told we have to do it, arrange it for tomorrow or the day after, or else we'll miss the deadline.
I still have to fix it.
My manager is outside now, so we were discussing stuff, and then I went into here, and then
Okay. Next question from Jacksonator. Are you guys gonna start demo drop anytime soon? Yeah, we try to do in the Discord every now and then, but it just doesn't work out that great. We still have to find consistency with it. But feel free to drop your tracks in the feedback section in the Discord, because there are a lot of people active, including me, where we give feedback. So feel free to drop it there. Steve, hey guys, I'd like to know how you guys decide if a song is good enough. In other words, how do you guys avoid overproducing, overmixing? Thanks in advance.
I think not too long ago we talked about this extensively.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
podcast.
recurring topic, a
Yeah.
recurring struggle.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something, but it comes down to me to this. For me, it comes down to this: have a team or people around you that you like check your music with, and then just have someone you kind of decide what's going to be the finished product. If you do it on your own, it's very hard to say now it's finished. If you have someone that has kind of also some knowledge about what music should sound like, so maybe another DJ, another producer, or you're a manager, in my case, my manager, decide together. That helps for me.
Having a feedback group around you is a great way, is a helpful thing. And something I would like to add as well is set hard deadlines. As in, set a date in your calendar where you just say, on this day, the track's done. Whether it's finished in your mind or it isn't, you've spent enormous amounts of time working on it. It's done. It should go out now. So hard deadlines is a great way to decide if something should go out, yes or no. Do you have anything to add, Ralph?
Yeah, depends on what you think is not done, or I mean, if you're tweaking the volume level of your claps and the FX and all that kind of shit, making something a little bit more or less stereo, nobody will hear. And you can tweak it into perfection all what you want, but at some point, just send it out. If nobody replies, it's probably shit, and you just throw it away. And if somebody replies, then it's probably cool. And use feedback groups. Go to the Discord of Artist Coaching. There's like-minded people over there who can give you some honest feedback. That's what helped me and Joey and Jopke a lot. But yeah, nobody's gonna hear if your clap is 1 dB louder or the tail is more stereo. Fuck that kind of shit. You can do it always, but send it out and see what people say. And if the feedback is it's nice, then it's probably also shit.
And what you both of you guys started doing as well lately is sharing work in progress on socials, right? So already gathering feedback through socials, so that you can already get a taste of what their opinion is about it. That's also a helpful tool, because you will have
but
people.
If you don't have the following, that's going to be quite hard, because if your focus group is 12 comments, then that's not going to help you. But it's still something.
Yeah, it's still something.
Start somewhere. So
yeah,
true. No, but it's. I mean, maybe that's not the right focus group. That's all I'm saying. But okay, it still counts. But eventually, somebody of a little bit of magnitude has to respond to your tracks, or else chances will be a lot slimmer of the
but you have to
succeeding.
build your way towards that, right? So you have to start like with your family and friends, and
and I think that's the nice thing about how all the algorithms work these days. It can end up somewhere with someone famous, or just go viral out of nowhere. So just keep showing your shit, man.
Keep releasing your music. True.
Hey, I do think I saw some questions.
I have one.
week.
I have one in the live chat from Wesley, which is something I wanted to talk about, because I hear this so many times from artists, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Wesley says, "Hi guys, I don't know what genre to write. I constantly rush from genre to genre, from progressive house to dubstep. What's your opinion on that?"
I think it doesn't have to be a problem. What it can be a problem with is your focus. You want to have, if you have only a limited amount of time, you want to be able to focus on certain stuff. And eventually, preferably, you would want to have one main project. So if you make all that genres, pick one. Let's say now progressive is going to be your main one, and try to finish songs there. Then if you have time, hey, also make that other stuff, and make another alias, make songs in that genre as well. I think it's important to still make other stuff, to keep being creative, but you need focus. You need focus on one project to really make that work, I think. And also for your fans, it can be a bit like, especially in the beginning, hard to follow you if you switch extremely within genres. So I think pick one, focus on that. You don't like it after half a year, switch to the other one.
But you can also be really kumbaya about it and be all like, hey man, it's all about creativity, just do what you want, it's music, man, there are no rules. So that's also something you can do. But if you want a career, it's better to stick with one of the two genres. per artist name, because you can also be 2 artists at the same time. But people who at some point have to attend your show, I don't think there's a lot of market for people who like progressive and dubstep in the same show. But still,
Could be.
it all
but who
depends,
knows?
because
Yeah.
I've been called a really businessman about my music career and all that kind of stuff. But you can also say, "Fuck it, man! It's creativity, and I do what I want."
The
But it's
problem
going
here
to be a
is,
tough career then.
the problem is your audience needs consistency. So whatever you choose, stick with it and keep focus, as Jay said, because your audience needs to know what to expect. Most people don't like surprises. So be consistent with what you put out in your artist name. And you can still make different genres, but you don't have to put that out or release it under an alias name. But yeah, focus and consistency. That's the key word, I would say. Here's another question from Dominic Austin. How can I be introvert DJ faceless and still be successful? So how can I be a faceless DJ and still be successful? Yeah, exactly. Wear a mask or like build your brand around what's that
Holy
word?
Priest and Carve are killing it, but I think harder styles, Warface, Anger Fist, all that kind of stuff. Harder styles are a bit more theatrical than other stuff. I don't know if there's any house names who wear masks. Ooh, is there?
Daft Punk. I'm not sure if that's house.
Oh,
but
yeah. Well, that's house music. But I mean, like recent names that have come up. Yeah, but it makes it. It's an interesting point, because then you can also 3D print a mask for somebody who is, say, you have a booking in China. You 3D print your mask there. You
don't have to
ask
bring it.
somebody in China to play, and you don't even have to go.
Yeah, you can multitask.
Blue Group.
Mikey Foden says Kleptone and Golden Features.
Oh, yeah. Boris Brescia starts with the mask. Yeah, so there's also theatrical stuff over there. Yeah. The Kleptone, good one. Yeah, so...
there are ways to build like an how do you say it? Like a faceless DJ act. It's just that you need to approach it slightly different, because now it gets a bit harder to throw in your personal authenticity. You can still do it, but
I think you need a look, and that can be a mask, that can be an ugly face, it can be a weird face, but you need something that people recognize you.
Sure, yeah.
And if you think of Steve Aoki, you see his, and that's also his logo. I think you see the long hairs and the mustache.
Timmy Trumpet,
the hat, and the trumpet, of course. But you need a look. So whether it's a mask or an ugly face, or a nice face, it needs to be something recognizable.
Exactly. Okay,
I saw a question from Gerard Francis from last week, which I think is interesting because it's a difficult one.
In the Discord,
in the Discord, yeah. Because I'm not sure we talked about it last week. He says balancing his 9-to-5 career and chasing his career as a DJ and producer. Because he says, I find it hard going into the same room that I've already been working in all day, and I don't feel inspired to make music. And he tends to go outside for a walk in nature or somewhere nice after work. But this doesn't always work. So any advice would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
I think try to find a different location, because I think you answer maybe the question already in your question. Try to find a different location to make music, even if it's just for starting a project. So maybe go to the couch with your laptop, go to a cafe with headphones on, or a McDonald's
room.
And try that. I think if you don't feel inspired, if you feel like you're in that room and it just doesn't, you feel stuck in that room all day, then it doesn't feel like a nice place where you can just get creative, I think. So I would try that.
It's also the easiest thing to change, as in if you want to create change in your life, if you notice that something's off and you want to create change, changing your environment is the easiest thing to do. So for me personally, that helps great as well. I mean, this new office is one of the reasons why I wanted a new space, because I needed new inspiration and new energy. And having a new place really impacts me. So literally moving from the working room to the couch, as Jobke mentioned, that can already impact you crazily. So just figure out what works for you. But first try to make music in a different area, in a different room. That would definitely help.
Good tip.
Okay. We're approaching the end. So any shills of the week, guys?
Well, I have a new track coming on the 25th of April. It's just has been approved to send out on all streaming services. The pre-save will be available on this Friday. So
Hardway or
Hardway, yeah.
Okay.
So keep an eye on my Eggboy is going is still fire. So it releases every 2 weeks. Dude, I just released a new Eggboy.
Eggboy, without even realizing it, Eggboy has been dominating my playlists.
Hey!
Now that I'm aware of that's you, the name starts to
subliminal
messaging,
marketing, guerrilla.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Ralph, anything to share?
Did you know that I very softly put in a voice like that?
Eggboy,
Look,
Eggboy.
Listen to J Hardway. Yeah. Listen to
Vote J Hardway.
Vote J Hardway. DJ Mac 2025.
It's actually a good one if that works.
Might work.
There is a shitload coming. I would urge everybody to follow us on whatever socials you like. And it's all the handle at Bassjackers. That BASSJACKERS. We have a shitload of releases coming up. We're also doing a few free giveaways, edits of our tracks.
What are you giving away?
We have a Wiggle Wiggle bootleg that we're giving away right now. We have this Beethoven track, Beethoven's aria, and we have an aria edit, the track by RG, but we also have our own edit. The own edit is going on Spotify because we couldn't clear aria, of course, but we also giving away the aria bootleg we did, but that we played out live a few times. So that's there. And then we have every 3 weeks a release up until July. And we're actually filling up the calendar quite swiftly. Yeah.
Good job.
Some
Good job.
Collabs. Oh, we have one with Ben Nicky also. Stay High. That's also going to be a bootleg. We couldn't get it cleared. So that's coming up, the socials, pretty soon. Hardway played it in his Tomorrowland set 2024. So if you want to check it out, it's there already. Although it's now slightly altered. Enough to... you don't have to be worried that you're going to have a dull time on our socials. So come over to the dark side.
That's a bitch.
Let's have some fun.
And for those who haven't already done it yet, make sure to check out the Artist Coaching website, visit the Discord server where it's always fun throughout the whole week. And we have an announcement for next week, because next week we have another guest. We have Retrovision joining us again. He has been in the podcast before. He's a good friend of you, right, Jobke?
Yeah, we have tracked together, and we had a few shows we did together. So yeah.
So he will be in the podcast next week. So looking forward to that. And until that, I wish you guys all the best. Have a great week. Bye-bye.